Jaylon Johnson is one of the most well-rounded cornerbacks in the NFL, having the best season of his career as a pending free agent. He's always been really solid in coverage, but only one interception in his first 3 seasons. This year, he's starting to get a little bit more ball production, 3 interceptions, 5 pass breakups, and that isn't coming at the expense of his technique. It's not like he's taking a bunch of chances to pad his stats. He has the lowest yards per cover snap among NFL corners at 0.42, and that would be the 3rd lowest for a single season since 2015. And he's going to be a free agent this offseason. To me, it just makes no sense for the Bears not to re-sign him. But if they decide to let him walk, I mean, he's a scheme fit for every single defense. Like, there are just no holes in his game. He does pretty much everything at least a B to B plus level. And for a team that needs a cornerback, he should be the top player on their board. He's a really smart zone coverage defender. On this play from week 12, the Bears are in cover 6. So on the right side of the field, they're playing quarters, and on the left side, it's cover 2. The soft spot of cover 2 is what they call the honey hole, which is right behind the flat defender and outside of the deep half safety. So a lot of cover 2 beaters are going to be some sort of smash concept or vertical high-low. Right here, the Vikings are running a corner route from the 2 and then a quick in from the 1. Jaylon Johnson crashes on this in route from Brandon Powell, but once he continues this route across the field, he knows the hook defender is going to pick it up. So he sinks back, undercuts this whole shot, and gets the interception. Right here, the Bears are in cover 2. Johnson's responsible for the flat. Initially, he doesn't have any routes to his side, so he gets depth, reads the field. The fullback CJ Ham leaks out into the flat, and Johnson's so quick to accelerate, break on this pass, limit it to a short gain. And then another cover 2 rep right here. Again, he's responsible for this flat zone, but he isn't just supposed to sit there and cover grass. If there aren't any routes in his area, then he's just going to sink and cover number 1 vertical. He does a good job keeping up with him downfield and forcing the incompletion. He's also good in man coverage. He can be aggressive pressing at the line of scrimmage, and he has really patient, balanced footwork from off. Right here, KJ Osborne's running a dig route. Really good job at the top of this route. You can see Osborne initiates contact at the break, but Johnson has the play strength to hold his ground and not get moved back, and he has the short area quickness to mirror this break without grabbing. You can see he actually widens his hands out to show that he's not grabbing the jersey. He's able to make up that initial separation. Good job timing his break on this pass. He tips the ball up, and TJ Edwards comes down with the interception. Right here, he's playing a soft shoe press on Quentin Johnston. He gives him that initial outside release. Once he declares that he's running vertically down the field, then he lands his punch on the inside shoulder. He stays on top of the route, gets his eyes back to the quarterback, high points the ball, gets the pass breakup. He has fluid hips. He sticks really tight to route breaks. Even when receivers are able to get a little bit of initial separation off of the break, he has that short area explosiveness to make up that distance quickly. And he has one of the better back pedals in the NFL. He's able to cover a lot of ground moving backwards, maintain that comfortable half yard of separation, and then get in phase, flip his hips, stay tight for the rest of the route. He doesn't have blazing speed. He ran a 4.5 flat, but overall, I think he has enough speed to keep up with pretty much every receiver down the field. Right here, Jamison Williams tries to hit him with a stop and go. He doesn't really bite on that initial move, but he does slow his momentum some, and he's able to regain that speed, keep up with him step for step. And then nice play here against Detroit. They've got a Monroe St. Brown in the backfield. He identifies this flat route, undercuts it, but he drops the interception. And I think his best skill is defending curls and comebacks, anything on the vertical plane. He has outstanding start-stop ability and acceleration from a back pedal or a standstill. According to Sports Info Solutions, he's covered 63 curls or comebacks this year. He's been targeted 6 times, and he's only allowed 1 reception for 8 yards. Right here, they're in cover 3, so he's dropping into this deep third. The Vikings try to hit TJ Hawkinson on this curl route, but without even having eyes on the receiver, Johnson reads Joshua Dobbs, breaks on this pass immediately. Another dropped interception that probably should have been a pick 6, but you can see this ability to just plant the back foot, cover so much space, and get in front of the route. Right here, he's covering Jordan Addison on a deep out. He just synchronizes his break with the receiver. Really impressive movement skills and route anticipation here. Right here, again, they've got a cover 3 look. Devontae Adams tries to attack his blind spot and separate on this comeback to the outside, but Johnson has eyes on the quarterback. He's quick to break out of this side turn, undercuts the route, makes the interception, brings it back to the end zone. Overall, he's a well-rounded athlete, but this is his one athletic trait that really stands out, is acceleration. And then right here, he's covering Jaden Reed on a comeback. Jordan Love is a second late throwing this, but he's able to flip his hips, recover, get in front of the passing window, jar the ball loose. If you try to target him on screens, he can shed blocks from receivers pretty easily. He's had 3 screen targets this year, and they've gone for a total of -5 yards. So there's really no specific route or area of the field where it feels like you can pick on Jaylon Johnson. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and also follow us on all of our social medias. The links to those are in the description. The one kind of consistent week weakness to his game is that he does get a lot of penalties. He's been called for 7 penalties this year and a total of 25 over his 4 years in Chicago. A couple of them this year are pretty questionable. It's go balls down the sideline. Both the receiver and the corner are playing the ball and they kind of get tripped up in incidental contact. I'm pretty biased towards corners in these situations. I think they have a hard enough job as it is, so I don't have a major problem with that. But the one thing I do think he needs to work on is getting his hands lower when he's making contact at the route break. He has a tendency to get his hands up on the shoulder pads instead of down at the hip, and that's just going to get called a lot more often. So you see right here against Carolina, the receiver's running this blaze out where he stems inside and then breaks out to the sideline. I don't have a major problem with making contact here. That's a lot of times what you have to do to keep up with a horizontal break like this, but he needs to get his hands down at the waist and just use that contact to help himself get his hips turned around. When you grab up high at the shoulder pads, it's going to make the contact a lot more obvious, and he gets called for a holding here. But other than that, Jaylon Johnson is just such a complete cornerback. The Bears should definitely re-sign him. I'm sure his asking price is getting a lot higher now that he's racking up interceptions, but they have the cap space to get the deal done, and if they don't, he should be the top corner on everyone's board. And it's amazing, he's only allowed 162 yards in coverage this year, only 2 receptions of 15 plus yards, and his longest reception of 36 isn't even that bad. He's in zone coverage on Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield breaks out of the pocket. He should probably just stick with Evans here, given that Baker Mayfield isn't that much of a rushing threat, but he decides to crash upfield. Mayfield flips it over the top. This should go for like 14 yards, but the safety misses the tackle, so Johnson gets credited for all that extra yardage. So yeah, any team that needs stability at the cornerback position, Jaylon Johnson is your guy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments any NFL players or teams that you'd like me to cover.